From the PPL Center in downtown Allentown, the Astound Television Network proudly presents live coverage of the Eastern Pennsylvania Conference Boys Basketball Semifinals. A doubleheader matchup tonight. Game 1 will feature the Liberty Hurricanes with an overall record of 15-8, taking on the Northampton Concrete Kids as they come in with an overall record of 19-4. Good evening and welcome, everyone. I'm Chris Michael along with Dennis Lobb. Glad you could join us for a busy week on Astound with both EPC and Colonial League basketball action coming your way. And for our first matchup, we have two teams that met during the regular season twice. First time Northampton won the game rather easily at Liberty. Second meeting we had on Astound TV, Northampton started off strong. Liberty came back, and there were some fireworks both during the game and even some after the ball game, so it was one of our more heated contests that we saw during the month of January.
Yeah, two good games. I mean, one in December, one in January. The thing that stands out to me is Jake Puxon, the first time when it was a real big game, and they were lost by a lot, he scored 21. The second time he only scored 2. But he impacts the game in so many different ways. So, you know, he's going to be needed tonight for certain.
And when you have teams that have faced each other twice, the big question I always ask you is, what adjustments do you see? Because obviously there is going to be some tweaking going back and forth, but both of these teams have had a lot of success, especially in the month of January, so there's not a whole lot you really want to change for tonight's matchup.
No, I don't think you're going to see a lot of changes tonight, but you never know. When you're talking about Northampton and how do you prepare for Northampton, they're so balanced that there's any one of their 5 guys can score, so you're not taking anybody out. Now, the adjustment could be made from Northampton's side. They could go with their match, but then expand it a little bit and try to take the ball out of Puxon's hands because he's the main creator of things.
Noah Wolokovitz coming off 14 points in the win over Whitehall. He had 12 of those after halftime. That followed a 27-point performance against Freedom. Comes into the playoffs 9th in the EPC in scoring. He was the leading scorer in the last matchup between these two teams as he scored 15 points in the second game that was played at Northampton High School. The winner of this ball game will face the winner of our Game 2 matchup, and that will feature Parkland and Nazareth. That game scheduled to start a little after 8 o'clock from right here at the PPL Center. And so they will be waiting in the wings and face the winner of this matchup. Another big key when we come to PPL is usually asking the coaches, all right, well, let's talk about the aesthetics. Let's talk about the open background. But guys like Jake Puxon, he has been here. He knows what it's like. You can say the same thing for Northampton. Just about the entire team had that great run from a year ago right here at PPL Center. But guys like Jake Puxon, they're used to the atmosphere, so you wouldn't expect some of the returning players for Liberty to struggle from the perimeter.
Well, the thing that you always have to talk about when you come here is there's 3 3-point lines. And you want to make sure that you're shooting from the proper one, which is the black line. But we see teams year after year that are shooting behind the orange and even the white line.
And we'll see coaches reminding them even during timeouts about that. Here's the road to the Final Four of the EPC playoffs. Parkland doubled up Central Catholic the other night. They won 74-37 in their first round victory. Nazareth, as you saw on ATVN Live, tougher ball game against Allen. They advanced with a 5-point victory. Liberty went up north and beat Pocono Mountain West. So they continue to have struggles come EPC playoff time. They've usually struggled here at PPL Center, but this year they don't even get the chance to make the trek down here to be in the semifinals or the finals. And also on ATVN last week, an exciting ball game between Whitehall and Northampton. Whitehall had an 11-point lead late in the first half, but really hurt themselves from the free throw line, missing their last 7 free throws of the ball game, and ended the night shooting under 34% from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, Northampton was 16 of 18 from the free throw line. And as my partner will frequently say, you got to shoot free throw well to have success in the months of February and March. At this time, let's pause to honor America at the PPL Center with the playing of our national anthem. Good to see a lot of familiar faces here from both Northampton and Liberty. Just talked to Andy Patsillas, and he told me the exact number of days till the first day of spring sports starting, and looking forward to the warmer weather. But first, a lot of high school basketball action coming your way over the next several weeks on Astound TV. Familiar starting lineup for both teams tonight in our Game 1 matchup. For Liberty, they're going to run once again with Luke Heffernan, Jake Puxon, Jarrell Teague, Dylan Bilger, and Quinn Lucas Bishop, with Braden Kashner, the first one off the bench. And this has been the same starting six, really, in their rotation that they've had since back in December.
And I'm really impressed by Luke Heffernan. He's the guy that, you know, we're never going to have as one of our impact players. You probably won't read his name in the newspaper or see it on TV, but he does a little bit of everything for this team. He is the heart and soul of this team.
They had a couple injuries back in December, but virtually injury-free over the last couple weeks, and they do come in healthy. Nigel Long in his sixth season at the helm of the program. His overall record now 95-60. And now for the Northampton starting five. Again, a familiar starting five. We've been seeing this combination of players for 2 years, including last year when they entered the playoffs as the number 6 seed. Really were underdogs in all three of their ball games before they went on their magical run. And then talking to the coaches before the game, when we asked them about the three-point line and the unusual shooting atmosphere, they're like, hey, we're used to this. This is where we had success a year ago, so we're ready to play tonight under Matt Scholl in his fourth year at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, they were the 6th seed last year, and now Nigel Long and his crew are the 6th seed, so it's sort of, why not us? If they did it last year, why can't we do it this year? And they knocked off the 3 PM West, and now they get the 2. So we'll see.
Good to see the Liberty Pep Band here in attendance for tonight's Game 1 matchup. Should be a good one. Third matchup between these two teams. There's just a look at the band members from Liberty. Talking to the coaches before the game, and all of a sudden some bagpipers snuck up behind us. For Liberty, they're coming off the win over Pocono Mountain West. Before that, they defeated Nazareth in the regular season finale game, also seen on 8TVN, as they defeated the Blue Eagles by 4. Nazareth still secured a playoff berth, and they will be dueling battle with Parkland coming up at 8 o'clock. But first, Liberty wins the tap. Teague with the basketball. Chris Pinson, Jimmy Hahn, and Norris Bullock are officials for the first of 2 games at PPL Center. And the ball was knocked away by Northampton, so Liberty will have it in the corner.
Looks like a straight match to me, Chris, from that half of a possession.
Liberty showing patience. They got off to a slow start in the first meeting between these two teams, but really an explosive second half. Quinn Lucas Bishop, somebody lit a fire under him in that halftime locker room, and he was almost unstoppable in the second half, willing his team to get within 3 late before Northampton ended up sealing the second victory. And that ball's tipped away. So much like we saw with Northampton, their opponents start off very patient on their first possession.
Well, you have to feel this thing out, but eventually they can't run a steady diet of having their offense starting behind that white, which is actually the pro three-point line here.
Puxon with the basketball. Over to Bilger. And back to Puxon between the rings. He starts directing traffic. We've had 1 minute gone by with only 1 possession so far. Quinn Lucas Bishop comes out. Lucas Bishop had a monster fourth quarter in that Nazareth game, the regular season finale. Just a couple field goals, but made his presence felt with some big blocks and some key rebounds to seal the victory for the Hurricanes. Liberty crowd appreciating the solid possession. Puxon rolls to the basket and scores the game's first field goal.
And they come right out and are pressuring full court, a little diamond pressure. Look to see them switch their defenses up time to time, because you give Northampton a steady diet, they have a variety of sources which they can score from.
And the EPC quarterfinal, Northampton held their first possession for 80 seconds, did not score. In fact, Northampton did not score their only point in the first quarter until the minute 22 mark, as Whitehall jumped out to a 9-2 run. As we mentioned, had a lead of 11, had a couple points in that first half before the K-Kids stormed back in the second half to force overtime. Now it's Northampton showing some patience. Regic with the basketball. Leo Regic with a career-high 22 points at PPL a year ago. He gets the basketball back beyond the professional three-point arc. Now he starts driving against Lucas Bishop.
And you don't want Lucas Bishop extending all the way out and playing a guy in the point guard area. He's got to stay paint.
There's Wolakovic, shake and bake move, misses the turnaround jumper, body's on the floor, and we'll have a jump ball. And Northampton will keep it on the possession arrow.
Get a look at jump stop. Famous for all these kids in Northampton, but Wolakovic hustles and makes a play.
There's Brady Simmock off the inbound pass, puts it up and in. Had 6 points against Whitehall. None of those points came in the first half.
Nothing I like more, Chris Michael, than somebody scores off an inbounds play underneath.
There's Jake Puxon standing behind the professional three-point arc and missing it, but Liberty gets an offensive rebound. Back up top, Bilger straight on three off the back of the rim. Another offensive rebound by Teague, doesn't go, and now Simmock secures the basketball for Northampton.
A few shots, I'm not so certain that two of them were good shots. They were well deep. Teague's, I'm sure he'd want that one back.
Regic has the ball at the top of the circle. Now Solers dumps it off to Raisley. They try to go inside to Solers. And we are over halfway through the opening quarter already, with just 2 possessions both ways.
And I kind of like what Northampton's doing with their movement, because they are getting some mismatches, and these guys are so interchangeable that it's an effective offense for them.
Once again, Liberty does have Quinn Lucas Bishop out on a perimeter shooter. Regic shoots over him and misses the three. So both teams struggling from beyond the arc. Bilger taking it down the other way. On the break, his shot rims out, no good. Liberty 1 for 5 in the early going, and Northampton turns it over.
And that wasn't a good idea, Chris, because they really didn't have a numbers advantage to get anything off that break there.
Northampton comes in averaging 58 points on offense, 45 points allowed, and averaging 11 turnovers per game. Liberty averaging 62 on offense, 42 on defense, and 12 turnovers. That number has been coming down. It was up around 14 a month ago, and one of the things that Liberty has been doing much better of is keeping control of the basketball, and as I say that, they turn it over. Up ahead, Leo Regic. Pass was too wide. Now Simmock has it, slams on the brakes, and Northampton will have to settle for a half-court game. Wolakovic with the basketball, leading the team in points, assists, and steals. Regic starts the drive against Teague, doesn't get the layup. Simmock misses the tip, and Puxon has it for Liberty.
Big thing, it's one shot and done so far.
Fall-away shot by Puxon, no good. Liberty tries to get back on defense. Northampton does not have the numbers advantage. Wolakovic takes a shot anyway that misses, and now Puxon steals it away for the Canes. Into the corner, three-point shot away by Heffernan, no good. Liberty 0 for 3 from three-point territory. And Northampton will have the basketball. And you know the coaches year after year will tell their players over and over, do not wait and shoot it from the white line. Don't shoot it from the orange line. You can go all the way up to the black line. And every single year, the first few shots that we see, time and time again, are always way beyond the professional 3.0.
I believe we have 3 of them so far, and none of them really looked close.
Northampton trying to go inside to Solers and lost the handle. Last touch by Solers, and Liberty will have it back. Northampton with 2 turnovers in the early going.
Get a look at the nice pass to Solers, and you see it go right off his foot.
90 seconds left in the opening quarter. Ethan Raffun into the ball game, putting some pressure defensively on Puxon.
They're doing a match press, full court.
Liberty's rotation has been a little tighter of late, working down to about 7 on average. Northampton the other night played 7. And we have a foul. Going to be on Solers. First foul on Northampton. And Northampton forces a turnover. Raffun into the front court. Had a big game against Whitehall with 10 points. And also played his usual stellar defense. Now Simok. Well, that was from the orange 3-point arc, and that one was also no good.
And the funny thing is, we talked to coaches about that line, and yep, we went over it. We told the kids, oh my goodness. And we see it again in the first quarter. Hopefully these 2 teams settle down, because people didn't pay $10 a head to get in for a 2-2 first quarter.
And Liberty's going to play for 1. Puxon dribbling the basketball just inside midcourt. Northampton, for the second straight playoff game, gets off to a slow start offensively, as they will score, barring a turnover here. Only 1 field goal in the opening 8 minutes. Well, you do have plenty of fouls to give if you want to do that. Regic commits the personal.
They can foul literally out this quarter without them even getting a shot.
Puxon starts the drive, feeds it into the corner. Samir Brown misses a 3 ball. And that will do it for the opening quarter of a doubleheader at PPL Center. We are tied at 2 apiece.
At Astound, we pride ourselves on being part of the communities we serve. As your local partner, we understand your needs and deliver internet and voice solutions that are right for your business. Our award-winning speed, reliability, and local support keeps your business connected to ensure you can grow with confidence. Because when you win, we all win. Your business is our business. We are Astound for a reason. For a limited time only, switch to the nation's #1 rated award-winning business internet and get a $500 gift card.
Liberty Band entertaining the crowd between the first and second quarters. Not a great first quarter if you like offense. Both teams were both 1 for 8 from the field. Liberty was 0 for 5 from the 3-point arc. 4 of their 5 triples was behind the professional 3-point arc. And Northampton was 0 for 2 from beyond the arc in the first quarter. Both teams committed 2 turnovers. All right, you got your first game, opening round PPL game jitters out of the way. Even though you have a lot of experience out there, now we're going to see both teams settle in, and we'll see a little bit more offense in the second quarter, right?
Absolutely. I am quietly optimistic that this is going to be the case.
I am
Samir Brown, that last shot, that one at least rattled.
Brown with 2 triples on the season. He now has the basketball to start the second quarter. Brown's been another player that has worked his way into the regular rotation and has been a key contributor for Liberty the last several weeks in particular. Brown dumps it off down low. You know, the ball game as well as Braden Kashner, but his first shot attempt of the night has been blocked. Kashner, the 6'2 sophomore, averaging 2 points per game.
And that's Wlachowicz. He blocked that one, and he's already had 2 steals. So while he's not making the impact offensively, defensively, absolutely.
Simak trying to drive against Brown, denied. And now it's Regic on the wing.
Last year, Regic couldn't miss at this place.
Off the Sollers screen. Rafun gives up his dribble. Wlachowicz down on the blocks, guarded by Kashner. Step back, 3-point shot off the mark. Northampton now 0 for 3. Puxon starts the drive, finds Kashner from the 3-point arc, the high school 3-point arc, and he drills it. His 3rd of the year.
Son of assistant coach Mike Kashner.
And Samir Brown picking up the first foul here in the 2nd quarter.
Credit Puxon on this play, Chris, because it's his penetration that draws defenders, and they leave Kashner open because his scouting report says he only has 2 on the year, and he buries it.
Big Puxon, the all-time assist maker at Liberty, averaging 3.5 once again this season.
He leads the team in every offensive category.
Rafun hands it to Regic. Nice crossover move. Good help defense, though, by Liberty. Dipping in is Rafun, and he picks up right where he left off the other night against Whitehall with a nice drive and a score.
Shortest guy on the court, arguably with the biggest heart out there. He did it the other night, knifed his way in there, and now tonight he gets him off the 2 snide.
Ethan Rafun, 2 big ball games defensively against Whitehall, and as we said, scored in double figures in the EPC quarterfinal matchup last Friday. 3-point shot by Teague is off the front of the rim, and Northampton with another rebound. That was a minor concern for Northampton, the height disadvantage, although they have that just about every night. But with 6'7" Lucas Bishop out there, Liberty, you'd think they'd have the advantage on the boards. They do not so far. And Liberty is going to keep the possession as the ball was kicked away by Simak. Wlachowicz back into the game for Northampton.
And Simak didn't even wait for Wlachowicz to tell him. He knew. He turned the ball over. He came running over towards the bench. He knew it was his turn.
Bilger with the basketball, one of 3 underclassmen that Nigel Long was talking very highly about early in the season. Said they're going to be making some mistakes early, but I really like their ceiling. And when you follow up with him, every time that we saw Nigel, he was talking even more and more highly of those guys. And they will be around for at least 1 more year. Here's Sollers for 3 off the back of the rim.
And Sollers is one of those streaky shooters. He can hit them.
As Dennis mentioned, all 5 guys can shoot the 3. Some of them more often than others. Northampton forces another turnover. Rafun into the front court. Starts the drive. Picks up a triple team.
And who made the defensive play up there? Wlachowicz. And he's getting recruited by the Arcadias and the Wilkes. One of these Division III colleges is going to get a nice player because he can do a little of everything.
And a 3-point shot drilled by Leo Regic. We mentioned he loves playing here at PPL. His first 3 of the night and 40th of the year.
And Liberty's scouting report, got to tell you, do not let that kid have his feet set around the 3-point line because he knows it's the black line.
Priority 1 and 1A for Liberty defensively was stop the fast break and also did not allow Regic in particular to shoot from 3-point range. There's Samir Brown answering back with a nice baseline running shot. His first field goal tonight. Regic gives up the 3-pointer that time. Count the basket, and 1 more coming at the line.
And Kashner's late to the party here. He should get over here and try to take a charge and get in position rather than try to block that one just late.
Kashner heads to the bench, replaced by Luke Heffernan. Regic, meanwhile, 91% from the free throw line on the regular season, was 4th in the EPC in scoring from the stripe. And he makes the point after to give Northampton a 3-point edge. Brady Simmock also back into the game for Northampton, replacing Solers. Three minutes left here in the first half. These two teams combined for 100 points on the season per game, and we are significantly below that average right now. Samir Brown diving through traffic, and the shot by Heffernan was blocked. Liberty does get back in transition. That was one of their keys. Simmock.
Northampton does such a good job of playing help defense. And you saw it on display there. Heffernan got a step, but there was somebody else coming, and that was Simmock.
Now Rafun beyond the orange three-point arc. Now they start attacking the Liberty defense. Long three-pointer away by Simmock, no good. Simmock now 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Both shots taken from the second three-point arc. Brown with the basketball for Liberty. Well, in both of these meetings, Liberty trailed at halftime. So if they come close here, that would be an added up for Liberty, as we have a foul called on Simmock. That's his first, and the team's first of the quarter.
Not a lot of fouls called, which is a good thing. We're in the semis here. You want to let the kids play, but there's got to be some enforcement.
Speaking of letting the kids play, we're going to see, I think, some physical games tomorrow on Astound TV. And we'll have live coverage of the Colonial League boys semifinals. Liberty 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Now under 90 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of zones being implemented in tomorrow night's games. I think this is going to be 2 games of man-to-man defense.
Things will get started at 6 o'clock tomorrow night on Astound TV. We will have the EPC girls semifinal action from PPL Center on tape delay starting at 9:30. This possession now over 30 seconds old. Simmock feeding inside to Rafun. Trying to get away from Lucas Bishop. Now turns, goes back inside, and puts it up and in for 2. Rafun's another player that got hot late in the year, a year ago, and here's a steal by Northampton. And a smart foul there because Northampton had the numbers advantage.
And Rafun's one of those players, I mean, he can hang his head. You know, I lost my starting job from last year, and ho-hum me, but he hasn't. He goes out and plays, and he gets inside. He does some of the dirty work. There you see Teague on the foul, and like you said, Chris, very smart foul.
Solers back in for Northampton. Heffernan back in for Liberty, and another foul. Quinn Lucas Bishop picks up his first.
And that's it now. Next foul Liberty commits. 2 free throws.
Northampton took this possession with 1:31 left in the half, and it looks like they're going to play for the last shot.
I would take a 4-point lead at this point. Just won't tell anybody it would be 12-8 though at halftime.
You may have to do some fill for your halftime highlights.
I have confidence in Charles, my replay guy, first game. He has something for me.
That one well beyond the professional three-point arc. No good. And that will do it. So, unfortunately, not a surprise. We've seen teams struggle a little bit to start here from PPL. And that is exactly what we have, a defensive battle between Northampton and Liberty through the first half. Northampton leading 12-8. We'll take a break and be back with the first half numbers and highlights. You're watching EPC semifinal action on Astound TV.
Life happens online. Astound's whole home Wi-Fi offers Eero Plus to help protect your information and devices against online threats. Eero Plus adds an extra layer of security to your home network. Family-safe browsing, threat scans, ad blocking, and more. Enhanced network protection in the palm of your hand. Get peace of mind your network is secure by adding Eero Plus for just $9.99 a month. Visit us online or call to add it today.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Hi, I'm Peter Nielsen. I'm excited because I'm going to be with you every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Astound TV Network. We'll be dealing with nutrition because you are what you eat. Physical activities, whether it's indoors or outdoors, as well as wonderful things you could do with your entire family. Let's get better together, mind, body, and spirit.
Tune in to Peter's Principles every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Astound TV Network.
We're upgrading our network, and we're excited to bring you future-ready Wi-Fi that powers everything you do. With multi-gig speeds up to 5 gigabits per second, you can stream, game, and video chat without missing a beat. Next-gen Wi-Fi means wall-to-wall coverage, faster uploads and downloads, better reliability for your smart home. And with built-in security, your devices stay protected automatically. We're not just upgrading, we're transforming our network to bring you more. For more info, visit us online. Live more with Astound.
In today's world, factories can make almost anything. But there's one thing no machine can create: blood. It simply can't be manufactured. It can only come from donors, like you. Schedule your life-saving donation with Miller Keystone Blood Center, the only community blood center servicing your local hospitals. Call 1-800-BA-DONOR or go to giveapint.org.
There you get a look at some of the spectators looking at the halftime entertainment here at PPL Center. And, you know, I don't want to hear anyone complaining going forward about having a tough shooting background here, because there was a young lady who just came out a moment ago and did this.
She called bank.
Called the bank, too.
Yep.
Part of the halftime festivities here at PPL Center. So several spectators will shoot a layup and a free throw, and then a three-point shot, and then a half-court shot. And even the people out there still aren't listening to us. They're still shooting the ball from the wrong three-point arc.
She's out there in moccasins, and she's making.
Let's take a look at the first half official numbers. And as we see, not great shooting by either team. Rebounding, Northampton once again with an advantage despite the size advantage for Liberty. They're up by +4 on the boards. And turnovers also can be an issue here, playing at PPL Center for the first time, but all things considered, a relatively decent number.
I cannot believe that we have, I don't remember ever having the same amount of attempts for both teams at halftime. That's pretty neat. to be honest. But Northampton, they're going to have the defensive rebounding edge because they do such a good job with their defense.
Leading scorers for Northampton, Leo Regic has 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting from the floor. Ethan Raffun has 4 points. For Liberty, they were led by Braden Cashter, 1 of 2 from the floor for 3 points. He had the only triple for Liberty in that first half. And then Jake Puxon and Samir Brown and Dylan Bilger had 2 each. We'll be back with first half highlights between these two teams. Game 1 of our Twin Bill on Astound TV from PPL Center in just a moment.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
At Astound, we're building the next generation of internet, Wi-Fi, mobile, and TV, led by a team that's bold, innovative, and award-winning. For 3 years in a row, Astound has been named a top workplace by USA Today, and we're just getting started. There's never been a better time to join our team. We're hiring across tech, operations, field sales, and other major roles. Join the company that's future-ready, driving innovation, and building what's next. Check us out at astound.com/careers.
There's a look at some members of the Nazareth team waiting in the wings for their Game 2 matchup against Parkland coming up at 8 o'clock tonight on ATVN. They're coming off a big win over Allen. There could be some news. We were going to try to check with the coaching staff, and we'll try to do that between games regarding Nazareth, but you'll have to stick around and find out what we find out about the Blue Eagles as they try to take on the Trojans coming up again at 8 o'clock on Astound TV. Now here's Dennis Laud to take you through highlights between Liberty and Northampton.
Starting off the game, Jake Puxon, he's a lefty. He finished that one righty. Brady Simmock deep and inside and finishes off. Puxon out to Kashner for an open 3. Ethan Raffun with a drive. Leo Regic with a drive and a 3-ball. Samir Brown off the bench, key contributor late in the season. Block by Simmock on Heffernan. Inside out. Raffun goes up and under and takes it right at Dylan Bilger for the basket.
We have a few more stats coming your way in just a moment. And along the second half, Game 1 of our doubleheader, Liberty and Northampton playing for the right to move on and playing in Thursday's EPC Championship, all coming up on Astound.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next. We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Hi, I'm Artie Freeman. Join me on my show, Cultural Bridges. My guests discuss the positive influences other cultures have had on them. Sometimes they talk about the positive influence they have on other cultures. I'll see you on the bridge, Sundays at 9:30 p.m., Wednesdays at 6 p.m., Fridays at 6 p.m., exclusively here on Astound TV.
Welcome back to PPL Center. Chris Michael, Dennis Lobb, our courtside statistician Jack Ebner, imploring me to give some information that would support Dennis's call for our impact players tonight. Noah Wolokovitz has not scored, but he has 3 steals, 3 rebounds, an assist, and a block. Go along with Leo Regic, 6 points and 4 rebounds. And Dennis's other impact player, Jake Puxon, has only 2 points, but 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And of course, when you only have 8 points, you're not going to rack up a whole lot of assists. So excellent job once again done by Dennis Lobb identifying our impact players for tonight's game.
You're setting me up for
You're
failure.
Astounding. You are astounding.
It's coming.
Start of the second half, Northampton with a basketball. They trailed 5-4, and then since then have held the lead ever since. It was 2-2 at the end of the first quarter. Simak with the basketball. He had a big second half against Whitehall in the quarterfinal matchup. Did not score in the first half tonight. Solers now has it up top before handing it off to Regic. And a traveling violation on Leo Regic. 4th turnover now on Northampton.
Definitely changed his pivot foot. And he'll see that on our telecast when he gets home tonight.
So an empty possession for Northampton to start the second half. And now it's Luke Heffernan bringing the ball up for the Hurricanes. Jake Puxon back to Heffernan, into the corner. Bilger for 3, got it. And that was inside the white arc. That was probably addressed during the halftime discussion. Bilger hits his first 3, 21st of the year.
Only a sophomore.
Dennis mentioned why not us for Liberty this year, but they are certainly going to be in the hunt for next year's team with a lot of this talent coming back. Off the missed shot, Teague misses a 3. He was also quiet in that first half. He's now 0 for 3 overall. And the foul's on Dylan Bilger, his second foul, team's first of the quarter.
And he pushed off Simak to try to get that long board. That's what happens with these long shots. The rebounds are long.
Regic up top of the circle, defended by Teague.
Tried to run that quick hitter for Regic coming up through 2 screens. Liberty switched out. They're switching on almost everything.
Gracely hands it off to Simak. Solers at the elbow. Skip pass over to Raisley. Jake also did not score in that first half. It's one of the great things about this Northampton team we've seen the last several years. They could have one guy come out and score 27 one night and maybe not so much the next, and they don't care as long as they get the win. Corbin Solers with his first triple tonight, 18th of the year.
When your feet are set, you got to go ahead from Coach Matt Schull. They shoot 3s. They're second in the league with the amount of 3s.
And there's Quinn Lucas Bishop posting up and scoring his first field goal down low in his second attempt of the night.
And you and I have been doing Liberty for the last 3 years. We've been imploring, when is Quinn Lucas Bishop going to give something on the offensive end? And hey, maybe that's a start. Nice move in there, Quinn.
He's played very solid defense the last 3 years and at times has had some big offensive nights. Had a 19-point game midway through this season. Had a big second half in the second meeting between these two teams. Scoring in double figures in the second half.
You talk about Raisley. He's unselfish to a point. I mean, next year he's going to have to be the man that's going to have to put up points, but he gives up a lot of what I feel are open, good shots.
Wolokiewicz in the paint. Tough defense applied by Puxon, but the rebound swallowed up by Regic, and Northampton will get another look. Outside three away by Regic, missed wide right. Another offensive rebound by Solers, and Teague picks up his second foul.
It was actually Raisley on that rebound, and he came from the three-point line to get that rebound and keep that play alive. And here you're going to see the hook. Teague fouls Solers.
Dennis mentioned that next year Raisley will be having to step up and share more of the offensive load. Won't be surprised if he becomes a more vocal leader. Matt Scholl at one point said, you know, that might be the one thing we're missing is a real vocal guy out on the court. And he said Raisley could be that guy, but when he's a sophomore and you're dealing with juniors and seniors, that isn't always the easiest thing to do. And there you see Raisley getting the job done inside, scoring his first field goal of the night, and he'll go to the foul line to try to complete a three-point play.
Yeah, speak of him here. Makes a move, determined, picks up an all-important third foul on senior Jared Teague.
Now that is a big loss for Liberty. They were hoping to get him going. Came in second on the team, averaging 10 points per game, and has not scored tonight. Now he heads to the bench. Raisley makes the point after, and Northampton now has its biggest lead of the night. Samir Brown in to replace Teague. Lucas Bishop setting the screen. Bilger left alone from the wing, buries his second three of the quarter. Came in shooting 32% from beyond the arc, and he's hit back-to-back triples.
And he's listed as a 6'2" wing, and I see him playing more of an inside position, but hey, he hit 2 threes in this quarter.
Nice little screen and go inside to Solers, who scores his second field goal of the period.
And that was all for fun. He gets in the game in the second half, and he makes an immediate impact and gets that ball, finds Solers in the middle of the lane.
Brown feeds Puxon. Nice spin move by Puxon down low, gets fouled in the act, and will be heading to the line to shoot two. Jacob Stad is in the house tonight. He'll be hosting playoff games tomorrow at Whitehall. Puxon on the season, 67% from the free throw line. Liberty as a team shooting 63%. Was right in the middle of the pack of the EPC. Wolokiewicz back in to replace Regic.
And I'm not a numbers guy like you, Chris, but 63% to me for Liberty is good. The last couple years, I remember, they were in the 50s, so.
And another foul on Northampton. Simok picks up his third foul.
And he just didn't block out there. So then he reaches down and, you know, Jim Hahn's in good position, gets the third foul.
And Lucas Bishop makes the first free throw. That was good to see him fired up there, because that's what Liberty needs. When he takes his game to another level, Liberty is a much better team. Lucas Bishop shooting under 50% on the season from the stripe, looking to make his second. Bilger gets the rebound. So this could be a reverse three-point play for the Hurricanes, down by 2 with 2.5 left here in the third quarter. Let's see if Puxon starts working his magic. Heffernan dribbling out of the wing, back to Puxon. And that three-point shot blocked by Ethan Raffun. Some guys just love to play here at PPL.
And look at the closeout here. I mean, that was out by the white line. I'm thinking, why are you shooting it? And then Raffun backed me up. He just swatted it away.
Heffernan with the basket now even further behind the white line. Gives it to Bilger. Starts the drive. They have not done any plays for Lucas Bishop, and now Liberty's going to call a timeout. Again, we've seen Quinn Lucas Bishop have some big games, and that's usually when the coaching staff either says something to him or works a few plays to get him the ball. He has some good footwork, pivots, and scores down low, and that's what he might need to try to build some momentum.
And the good thing about that is you get it in, you can play inside out. So you get him the ball inside. He's out by the three-point line sometimes in their offense.
Meanwhile, Dylan Bilger has been hot in the quarter with back-to-back threes, keeping Liberty down by just 2 at this point.
And someone has to step up because they only had 8 in the first half. So now they have 10 in this quarter alone. Nigel Long with a good timeout because just values how important this possession is.
Well, Liberty has outscored Northampton 10-8 in this quarter, as we're now under 2 minutes left. Bilger starts the drive. His pass wide, and that's not what you want to see happen off a timeout. First turnover for Liberty of the second half.
Penetration is key to beat the match. There's no doubt about it. They got the penetration, but you just need more solid passes.
There's a veteran move by Rafun. Beat his man Brown and put himself between him and the basketball as Brown picks up his second foul.
And he did that. I mean, that's a solid, smart play. I don't know about taking the beating, having some guy jump on my back, but it's semifinal time, Chris.
That's the 4th team foul on Liberty. They now have 3 players with at least 2 personal fouls. Raisley with a basketball, working against Bilger. That was another thing that Nigel Long said early in the year. Bilger not only is a slasher, which we've seen him do quite a bit in the second half of the year, but very solid defensive player. He's chasing down Raisley as he keeps backing up, and Northampton's going to play for the last look again. They've had a few possessions go over 60 seconds and some length. They don't have as big of a lead as they had earlier when they did this. Regic back into the game. He has the basketball in the corner. Regic feeds it back to Solers, and Northampton will reset with 33 seconds left in the period.
And they'll take an easy one, but they're not going to take a dumb one at this point in time. Because again, the lead is crucial. You got one of your main players with 3 fouls sitting there. It's a smart move.
Now 10 seconds left in the quarter. For fun with the basketball. Liberty does not have a foul to give. Rafun fakes it, finds Solers from the free throw line at the buzzer. Are they going to count it? No, they're going to get together. And they will count it. Solers makes a 15-footer. He finishes with 7 points in the third quarter, and Liberty trails by 4 heading into the final 8 minutes. We'll get one more look at the buzzer beater from Solers. And a good call by the officials.
Yep.
4-point game, final 8 minutes, straight ahead.
Everything is easier with your MyAstound account. Quickly view your account, manage your settings, sign up for text messages, and more. Want to go paperless? Click the button. Want to set up autopay? Do it in a flash. Plus now, you can add Astound Mobile, which runs on one of the nation's largest, most reliable 5G networks. Your MyAstound account makes it easy to get exactly what you need. Go to my.astound.com and check it out today. Live more, do more with Astound.
Welcome back to PPL Center. Game 1 of a twin bill on Astound TV. Game 2 will feature the top-seeded Parkland Trojans. And again, Parkland did not have the best overall record. Some people were asking me about that. Well, how did they get to be a number 1 seed? It goes by league records. And by that reasoning, Parkland is your number 1 seed. Nazareth was a number 5 seed, knocking off the number 4 seeded Allen Canaries. A short distance away in the quarterfinals, so that's our Game 2 matchup. With a lot more basketball coming later this week on Astound Television. Start of the 4th quarter, Liberty with the basketball. Down by 4. Jake Puxon skipping through the lane, draws contact, and we have a whistle and a foul. They did not reset the team fouls on the scoreboard here at PPL Center, but that is the first of the quarter. And Puxon will head right back to the free throw line.
It's time for Mr. Puxon to get involved, and he ran his play that time.
And Liberty has struggled from the free throw line. We mentioned that worked well for Northampton. They were 16 of 18 in their quarterfinal game, while their opponents shot under 34%. Puxon 1 for 2 here. And the Northampton lead back to 3. Northampton's biggest lead tonight, 5. Liberty led a couple times in the first half. Not more than by 2 points. Regic with the basketball, over to Wolakovitz. When was the last time we saw Noah Wolakovitz with no points entering the 4th quarter, Dennis?
He didn't score much the other day.
Yeah, he had
until the 4th and then the overtime.
Well, he had 2.
So, you know, he makes an impact in a variety of ways, as we've seen numerous times on this network.
Jarrell Teague, who also has not scored tonight, checks back in. He's been saddled with some foul trouble. Picked up 2 in the first half and then a 3rd in the 3rd. Nice head fake move there by Wolakovitz. Misses the 2-footer, but another offensive rebound. That has hurt Liberty tonight. Northampton getting a lot of second chance opportunities. Raffun in the weight room gets his shot blocked. Liberty on the run. Bilger up ahead to Teague, and there's Jarrell's first bucket of the night, and Liberty is back within 1.
Sometimes when your half court offense isn't clicking, get a little cheapy in transition. That time Bilger held it just long enough to draw the defender and hits Teague to get him going.
Teague was the leading scorer the last time these two teams met, had 11 points. Here's Soller starting to drive baseline, but Lucas Bishop picks up the foul, his 2nd. No. Actually stepping on the baseline was Soller, so no foul. We'll take a look back at the end of the 3rd quarter one more time.
The truck has it late, but as you know, Chris Michael and I, we support our local officials. We say it was a good call.
They do not get the benefit of looking at the replay. And there's Quinn Lucas Bishop muscling his way for his 2nd field goal tonight. He now has 5, and Liberty retakes the lead for the first time since early in the 2nd quarter. Raisley, boy, good jump out there by Lucas Bishop. Otherwise, Raisley would have had an open look from 3-point range. Regic now with a crossover. Well defended by Puxon. Backdoors Wolakovitz, and he will go to the free throw line. Wolakovitz shooting 72% from the stripe.
Nice pass from Raffun to Wolakovitz, who goes strong, and Puxon tried to be a politician and wanted it on the floor, but it was definite. Shooting.
Leading the EPC in free throw shooting percentage. And now Noah is on the scoreboard. Noah was 9th in the EPC scoring race. Came on as a sophomore, transferred in. Showed up for an open gym, and Matt Scholl liked what he saw from Noah and his perimeter shooting, and he has been a part of this offense ever since. Timeout by Northampton. They retake the lead 24-23 with 5:39 left in game 1 of our EPC boys semifinal doubleheader. Coming up later this week, we will have live coverage of Colonial League. high school basketball action. Those games will be on ATVN and will also be streamed live on our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com and then type in Astound TV Network. You can subscribe and get alerts when we are going live with our live sports programming, so you don't miss a minute of your favorite teams and local sports action on Astound Television. All for free, all courtesy of Astound. Tuesday's matchups, Northwestern and Salisbury starting at 6 o'clock, a 3 versus a number 2 matchup. And then the nightcap at 7:30, Caddy, the number 4 seed, taking on top-seeded Notre Dame Green Pond. Scheduled to tip off around 7:35 tomorrow. Liberty now down by 1. Heffernan, nice head fake. Gives up his dribble and hands the ball off to Teague. Bilger into Lucas Bishop. Starts the drive. Strong post-up move again. And he now has 7 points here in the second half.
And like you said, Chris, the footwork is there. You know, he's made some nice moves here. Should have been going to this earlier in the game because he's a factor that's needed.
Despite the low scores, we've now had 5 lead changes tonight. Long 3, no good by Wolokiewicz, and once and done that time as Puxon gets the rebound. Liberty has not led by more than 2 points tonight, and that was blocked by Wolokiewicz, once again making an impact at the defensive end.
Yeah, he came from a distance to close out on that, and that would, you know, that would have been a 3-point lead, and that, you know, is a difference here. That's a difference type of play, and now he gets caught walking.
There's been a few unforced turnovers by Northampton tonight. Just their 6th overall.
Look at how he closes out here. Gets up there. You can struggle a little bit from the offensive end, Chris, but you can't from the defensive end.
What I loved about that is instead of celebrating or doing any kind of gesture, he went after and made sure he secured the basketball from going out of bounds, so he kept the possession. At the midway point of the 4th quarter, Liberty again with a chance to take its biggest lead with a bucket.
You celebrate after the game, not during the middle of the game.
And an unforced turnover there. Bilger just peeked a little bit. Took his eye off the basketball. And that's the 6th turnover on the Hurricanes. Nigel Long offered some encouragement to the sophomore after the turnover. Simok with the basketball, starting to drive. Goes back to Solers. Now Raisley.
They all can penetrate and come to a jump stop, go into a triple threat position. I mean, that's part of their practice plan, I bet. I've never been at one of their practices, but I'm sure every day they work on jump stops.
Northampton calls a timeout with 3:18 left. They're trailing by 1. Against Whitehall in the quarterfinals on Friday night, Northampton did not lead the entire regulation, tying the game at 46, and then ended up shutting out Whitehall in the extra period as they finished the game with a 20-0 run.
The last 10 minutes, Whitehall did not score a single point in that contest.
Also tomorrow on Astound TV, on tape delay, we will have the EPC girls semifinals. Number 3 seed Emmaus will be taking on the 2nd seed Bethlehem Catholic. That'll be on the air at 9:30 on ATVN. And then at 11 o'clock roughly, the number 4 seed Parkland off a dramatic come-from-behind victory over Nazareth in their quarterfinal matchup will take on this year's top seed, once again, the Easton Red Rovers. And we'll see if Easton holds on to their top spot and has success here at PPL this week. We will have the girls' final on Thursday night live at 6 o'clock on ATVN. followed by the boys starting at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. Northampton with the basketball, trailing by 1.
Great timeout by Matt Scholl. Every possession's important.
And there's the execution off the timeout. Great feed down low to Simak.
Scissors type play, and who makes the pass? Noah Wolakowicz.
His second field goal tonight is Simak's. Northampton back up by 1. Inside to the big guy, Lucas Bishop. They were ready for the drop step that time, but a whistle, and there's going to be a foul on Wolakowicz.
There was 3 guys down there. He tried to get around 3 guys. That's where the inside, outside. Get your 3-point shooters, spot it up, and you got to play there.
Inbound pass to Puxon with a hand in his face. Shot was no good. Offensive rebound, but then a jump ball is called. And now we're going to have a foul. It's going to be on Solers, his second. And so Liberty will have it underneath their own basket again.
Need to get a good play here executed.
Puxon up top to Teague. Now Puxon starts the drive. Teague, oh, a good fake pass. Drives inside, Solers with a block. And Liberty with another chance, and now Nigel Long's going to talk it over. I agree. I think this is a good timeout here because Liberty a couple times had a chance to extend their lead. They missed it. You don't want to come away without scoring here if you're the Hurricanes.
Yeah, important possession. You must get a good shot.
Quinn Lucas Bishop with 7 second-half points. Been around this program and on the varsity team in particular for 3 years. Getting the job done here in the second half.
First one, beautiful little hook. That one he took a couple of dribbles rather. And the last one uses his left hand. He is being recruited by some Division III schools, but I'm hearing he wants to be a nurse, so he might give up the basketball and take his career more serious.
Puxon receives the inbound pass. 2:19 left in regulation. This game went down to the wire the last time these two teams met. Puxon over to Heffernan down the lane. That shot was blocked by Wolakowicz. Another defensive play by Noah. Raisley in transition, count the basket, and Wolakowicz finishes at the other end with his first field goal of the night.
So you make a block, and then you run and fill a lane. Who hits him? Raisley, the unselfish one, right?
Point after is no good, so it remains a one-possession ball game. Under 2 minutes left. Quinn Lucas Bishop out beyond the arc.
You don't need a 3 here, Liberty. Take a good percentage too. If the 3's there, fine.
Puxon takes over, handling the rock. Off the screen, he's open from three-point land. It's short, and the rebound by Raisley.
Now you have to think about fouling.
And Matt Scholl's going to talk about what they do here, inbounding the basketball. If you are not familiar with Northampton, they are a solid three-point free throw shooting team. Wolakowicz at 72%, Raffun at 70%, Regic at 91%, Raisley 80%, Simak at 80%. And then even if you go to the bench, Ramos is 67%. I also forgot to mention Solers, he's at 78%.
Help defense. There it is. And now I'm going to filter in. Take it right at 6'8". Go at him.
For Northampton, their wins this year over Easton by 15, Deerhoff by 27, Bangor by 6, East Stroudsburg North by 18, East Stroudsburg South by 24. Defeated Liberty by 18 in the first meeting, just 6 in the second meeting. Stroudsburg by 11, Becca by 3 and by 27. Nazareth first time by 17, Freedom by 39, Central by 7, Pocono East by 27, Whitehall by 7, Pocono Mountain East by 17, and Freedom, the final game of the regular season, they won by 34. Up by 3 on Liberty, looking to move on and play in Thursday night's championship at PPL Center.
And here we have that triangle delay game. You have one guy on the foul line, the other 2 guys right past half court.
Something that Northampton has done a lot of over the last year and a half, and very effective at closing out victories in this fashion. Some teams can't do this. We've seen it this year. Some teams get a lead, they try to isolate the ball and spread the floor and run out the clock, and things go wrong. They turn it over, and sure enough, the team will come back and put a run together.
Well, Liberty came out in a 1-3-1 and looked to trap, but all they were doing was wasting their energy.
There's a foul committed by Heffernan. And that is the 15th foul, so Northampton will be shooting free throws from here on out. If he makes at least one, it's a 2-possession lead for Northampton. Regic had 6 points early. That's his first point since halftime.
And you want to foul the guy that's shooting the highest at 91%? Not sure about that.
Bilger comes back in for Liberty. And he makes both. Regic now with a game-high 8 points. Liberty needs 2 scores. They don't necessarily need a 3. They shoot an extra long 3 from beyond the white arc again, and it comes up short. And we have a foul after the ball. Cleared the rim. And the foul is on Simok. That's his 4th.
His 4th, yeah. And T gets good position, and they call him for pulling at T.
And Liberty calls a timeout. They were getting close to a 5-second violation. This could be a rhetorical question if you like, but I do not understand with today's game. You need 2 scores. You need a bucket more than anything. Does not have to be a 3. But so many teams in this situation, they get the ball, they look right away and shoot a 3. And if you miss it, if you come away with an empty possession here for Liberty, the game's over. I guess this is one of the things they're talking about. Nigel Long's trying to draw up a play. If you get the 3, great, but you need to score quickly, and you want to try to get a high percentage shot.
And the problem with that, Chris, is, okay, you score, and you get the 2, you get the 3. Now you got a foul. And there's no one on that floor for Northampton that's a good idea to foul. Maybe the sophomore Raisley, but he hit his free throws here last year. So, you know, it's this 5-point lead to me is 10. It doubled.
This ties Northampton's biggest lead of the entire game. Must score possession here for the Hurricanes. 33 seconds left. And the inbound pass was picked off, and they foul Simok, an 81% free throw shooter. Might be the second straight year that Northampton knocks the Hurricanes out of the EPC playoffs. Don't forget, coming up at 8 o'clock tonight, Parkland versus Nazareth. That game is not scheduled to start before 8 o'clock. But we invite you to sit back and Watch Astound programming, and then we'll be back on just after 8 o'clock with Game 2 between the Trojans and the Blue Eagles. Simmock now with 5 points tonight. And now 6. Into the front court. Teague for 3 off the back of the rim. Simmock gets another rebound. Liberty fouls with 23 seconds left. Another 3 was taken behind that white arc.
You are speaking to the choir, or in your case, you're speaking to the
I'm
Liberty.
speaking to Nigel Long and every coach that
Liberty
comes in here
pep
saying.
band over there.
Every coach comes in here and says, don't shoot from the white, go up to the black line. And every year we see teams stepping back and shooting behind the white line.
Next game, we won't see it. Nazareth and
You're guaranteeing
Parkland.
that?
No, I'm not.
I'll guarantee we have more points in the second game.
Oh, my God. This game, first team to 30 is going to win.
Puxton misses another 3, and that'll do it. Northampton gets the rebound. Northampton wins its 20th game of the year and continues their undefeated success here at PPL Center as they look to defend their title on Thursday night at 7:35 against the winner of our Game 2 matchup between the Parkland Trojans and the Nazareth Blue Eagles. That game will be coming up again after 8 o'clock tonight. A lot more high school basketball playoff games coming your way tomorrow. College basketball Wednesday, and then doubleheader action on Thursday and Friday on Astound TV. Leo Regic, your top scorer with 8. Brady Simmock with 7. For Liberty, they were led with Quinn Lucas Bishop, who finished with 7 points. Jake Puxton had 4 to go along with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And Northampton, once again, solid shooting from the free throw line tonight as they made 8 of 9 in the fourth quarter alone to seal the win. Liberty will have to wait for their next game in the district playoffs that will start next week. Stick around. Nazareth Parkland coming your way just after 8 o'clock right here on Astound TV. For Dennis Lobb, our statistician Jack Ebner, our director Tyler Brackbill, and everyone at Astound TV, I'm Chris Michael. We'll see you in another 40 minutes on Astound.